Hey guys, what's up? It's time for another deck profile, this time with Zombieland Saga, the shot door build. This is a really fun deck. This is not my deck, this is my buddy Kevin's. I do not have enough money to show on the promo, so I'm going to be doing his since he runs the promo. First, we got 4 copies of the Lily Brainstorm. This is your combo until you get to level 3. It's a level 0 combo, which is a little different. A lot of decks have level 1 combos and stuff, but the level 0 combo in this build is probably the best bet. It's just a brainstorm. It's a pay 1 tap self. For each climax you hit, look at the top 3, add 1 to hand. So you can add the climax back for the combo, or just one of your events or anything. The climax combo, it comes with this one right here, the shot trigger. It's when you play this card from your hand to stage, you can bounce this card back to your hand to choose a level 0 in your waiting room and put it in the same slot that one was in. So these bounce back to your hand, so you can recur combo efficiently all the way up until level 3. This combo is a lot better if you have the promo that I'll talk about in a little bit. It helps your selectivity, otherwise you don't really have, your selectivity really suffers in this deck. But that's it. You play a lot of level 0s in this, because there's quite a few good level 0s in Zombieland Saga. Speaking of, next up is your clean cut. Play 4 of this. It's just a generic clean cut. When one of your other Zombieland Saga characters attacks, she gains 1000 power. So if you swing into her last, she's a 4k. And with Climax, she's a 5k. So she can reverse a lot of things. There's a few power pumps in this deck too. You can use her throughout the entire game. It's pretty nice. Next up, we got 4 copies of this Lily Ricky. She's a on play, pay 1, top deck to clock, and then you can choose a cost 0 or lower character, so cost 0 character equal to your level, and spawn it to stage for each. So it doesn't get you level 1s early at level 0 or whatever, but you can get your combo out at level 0, which is really nice. Additional copies of this always helps. Yeah, that's about it. Whenever your opponent plays a climax, you can actually send her to stock. So she denies on reverse combos. You can also ramp up a lot of stock in this deck. Like with this combo, you can throw all these in the back row or something if you don't want to take a shit ton of damage, and keep your stock that way. It's a pretty good card. Next up is right here. She's a Shimakai, so on attack you can pump one of your characters 500 power times the amount of your other characters. So if you have a full field, you can give a character 2k when she attacks. Her other effect is when she's played from hand to stage, or through this one's effect, top check, if it's a Zombieland Saga character, she can side attack for free. So in a deck that attacks with a lot of level 0s, this effect's really nice. I do feel like it doesn't proc off a lot in the 7 event deck, because it doesn't work off of the event. which I think it should. I don't know why it doesn't. Anyways, next up is your Brainstorm. This is a, whenever one of your opponent reverses a character, you can choose another one of your characters to get 500 power. So it's a nice little bonus. The cool thing about this card is she has 2 Brainstorm effects. So the first being pay 1, I believe it's tap self. Yeah, pay 1 tap self. Look, Brainstorm 5. For each one of the events that you hit, you get to salvage character. So she plays off the event, which it doesn't sound that great before we get into the event, but the event you can play 7 copies of in your deck, and it is a Brainstorm 5. So if you're at a lot of climaxes and your normal Brainstorms aren't going to hit, this one will do it for you. Her other effect is a pay 1 rest 2, regular Brainstorm 4 for each climax hit salvage. So she's a pretty nice card in this deck. You don't need a lot because, like I said, this, when you combo, can be anything in your deck. You don't have a problem with selectivity because of the event, so you can play a lot of one-ofs that you don't mind like teching. Speaking of one-ofs, here's another one-of. It's a on-play look at the top 2 and rearrange. And you can pay 1, discard a card. When this card's placed from stage from hand, if you do look it up to the top 3, add any card you find there to your hand. So you don't have to show your opponent. It could be a climax. It can be whatever you want. It's super nice. It's a good one-of. Another one-of is just a generic climax swap. She's pretty good in the deck. Well, she's pretty good in like every deck that can run her, so climax swaps are great, especially in a deck where you want to use combo as soon as level 0 and throughout the rest of the game. Next up, here's the promo that I've been talking about. This card's sick. It's also really expensive, and I will never have one. It's a global 500, and all of your events in any zone gain a soul trigger. So instead of being like a 1/1 event with no soul trigger, it has a soul trigger as long as this is out. If you have multiples of these out, it gains multiple soul triggers, obviously. Its effect is you can discard the event. If you do, you can salvage a Zombieland character. So, again, this helps with selectivity a lot. I play this deck as well, but I don't have this card and it suffers quite a lot because of it. This is kind of the card that makes the deck like a thing. Anyways, we have this. It's a level 0, gives all of your characters in front of this hexproof, so they can't be targeted. Good to get around things like tap counter and stuff like that. Bounce. They can't deal with your cards. It's alright. And her other effect is just tap yourself, choose one of your characters, gain 1000 power to one turn. So again, more power pumps. You can make your clean cut in this set really, really big. It's a pretty unique card. But yeah, these are all the level 0s in the deck. Pretty good. Let's move on to level 1s. First off, you have your level 1 combo, which you never really use. It's a really bad combo if you don't have 2 of these in memory, or 3 of these in memory. It's it's kind of like a time machine, where like this goes away at the end of turn, and you take a lot of damage coming into your next turn, so it's really not worth it, especially if you play multiples. It's just a generic on play, gains 2k power in the climax combo with this one right here, the door. When you reverse your opponent, you can salvage, and at the end of this, at your encore phase, if you have 2 or less cards in memory, this card goes to memory, which is notable for a card later on. But you put this card in memory with another card's effect. That card being this one. On play, she gains 4,500 power. She's 7k on play. And her effect is when this card's placed from hand to stage, I can choose this card in my waiting room and send it to memory. So you get this card in memory from this effect, so you don't have to handicap yourself with this combo. You can just focus on this combo. Because this combo is a split combo, it also combos with your level 3 and a level 2 card. Her other effect is I can pay 1 when she reverses her opponent. If I do, reveal the top 2 cards in my deck, and my opponent can choose either a Zombieland character or the event, and I add whatever card they choose to my hand. It's just a +1. It's not like super consistent. You don't want to rely on that for what you get, but you have a lot of ditch outs. You have a lot of cards to change your cards into other cards, so I appreciate decks that do that. Next up, we are playing 7 of the event. Right here. These 7 beautiful cards. This is probably the worst card ever. If it was just, vanilla, not in this deck. It's a pay 1. When you play this, look it up to the top 3, add a Zombieland Saga character to your hand. The additional effects on this is, after I use it, I can either discard a Zombieland character to add this back to my hand, or I can level swap this card into my level, or I can send this to memory, or I can just put it to waiting room. It's pretty nice. From the games that I've played with the deck, it's well, with my own deck, I don't play 7 of this because I don't play the promo. I only play like 4. Because you do need this in your level slot, for your combo. So yeah, that's about it for level 1s. Moving on to level 2s. Here's one of the cooler cards. So this card, as long as you have the Sakuras in your memory, they have a cool climax combo with this climax. The same one that your level 3 combos with. And the level 1 card, and this card, so there's a lot of combos going on. It's a pay 1 when you play this climax. And let's say you have 3 Sakuras in memory. You look at the top X cards of your opponent's deck, X being the amount of that Sakura level 1 combo you have in your memory. And you can keep them on top or put them on the bottom, or not put them on bottom, but discard them in any way you want. It's super cool. It's a really nice support card to have for the combo. This also gives 2k, global 2k if you have the event in your waiting room at the beginning of your attack phase. It's until the end of your opponent's next turn, so it's not like permanent, but you're always going to have that event in your waiting room, so it is a very nice card to have. That's all the level 2s I play. Next up is this early play. She's a early play if I have 4 or more other characters. When she's played, I can draw a card, discard a card, and she gains 4k to end turn. And she's also a discard a card, heal to stock. So essentially cost 1. It helps with level 3 combo. Like if you only have 2 level 3 combos, you can still throw this out last and get a stock for the level 2 combo. So it's a pretty nice card. Yeah, that's about it for this one. She's really small, notable. She's only a 7500 during your bonus turn, so she's gonna get ran over. But in this set, it doesn't matter as much. You just kind of need it in there for the, the heal if you need it. Like if you want to stay out and do more of a mid game. But yeah, that's about it. Next up is the combo for level 3 for Saga right here. She combos with this as well. So she heals on play, and her climax combo with this is on attack, pay 1, discard 1, burn your opponent 1. If cancelled, burn your opponent 2. If cancelled, put the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck to clock. So if you cancel both instances of burn damage from this card, you just put your opponent's deck to clock. Really, really nice card. If you triple this, your opponent's taking 3 at the very least. Again, with this card right here, when you play the same climax, you pay 1, look it up to the top X card to your opponent's deck. So what you can do here, if your opponent's stupidly compressed and has like 2 climaxes in their top 3, you can put both of those on top of their deck and then swing into this first. Pay 1, discard 1, and then they're taking a guaranteed burn 3, which is super cool. It also mills the climaxes out of their deck, because essentially the burn 1, burn 2 are both going to cancel on 1, so that gets rid of climaxes. And then the top 3 hits, and then your other Sakuras can attack. It's a really cool combo. It's unique. I love unique combos in Weiss. This entire set's pretty unique. The level 0 combo, the level 1 card that throws things into memory is a really cool card as well. It pretty much says you don't need to be playing a blessing combo at level 1, even though you do, because most of the time you do not want to play that card. That's it, really. The deck is super, super fun. It's a nightmare to play into, because kind of destroys compressed decks. I've taken the burn 3 from this card way too many times. That's about it though. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this deck profile. This is Yami from SSTCG. And thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time.